All right, good morning, guys. We're going to start doing some linear regressions and some scatter plots, and we're going to work on that for this week, and we're going to have a test on Thursday. This worksheet will be due tomorrow, and then on Wednesday, I'll give you another worksheet that will be due on Wednesday. The one thing I do want to let you know is today there's 3 front and back pages. I only want you to work on the first 2. Don't worry about the third one. That's what we're going to start with on Wednesday. All right, so the first problem is to do a scatter plot. So they already give us our x-axis, our time. So now we have to just do our region score. So we have to go up to 100. So I'm just going to go up every 2 boxes is 10. So I got 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right, now I'm just going to plot the points. So I got 380, so I go 3 up to 80, 5 up to 90, 275, 680, 790, 150, 265, 785, 140, and 100. All right. So now that's just a scatter plot, and you're comparing, they're trying to see if there's a relationship or what type of relationship is going to happen there. The more you study, what happens to your region score. All right. The next part of this is to do a linear regression. The nice part about linear regression is it's all done on the calculator. We don't have to do anything. So remember I told you to pick up that app. Hopefully you did. If you didn't, you can go on to riverhead.net and go down the technology page, go to resources technology, go down to VMware, type in your regular password with your at riverhead.net, not the G one, and you'll get your own desktop, and then you can access this calculator on our computer. So you can do that. I am putting steps up tomorrow for you to look at it if you have some issues. But if you want them beforehand, just email me, and I'll do that too. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the stat button, which is right 2 away from the alpha button. And I'm going to click enter for edit. Now, if you have anything up there, just go up to the number L1 and hit clear. Do not hit delete. If you hit delete, you're going to delete L1, and that's going to mess everything up. So now L1 is going to be my X value. So I'm going to put 3, 5 in the order that I see them here. 2, 6, 7, 1, 2, 7, 1, 7. And then my L2 is going to be my region scores. So this is L1, and this is L2. And when you're looking at it, actually, L1 is your X values, and L2 is your Y values. So I do 80, 90, 75, 80, 90, 50, 65, 85, 40, 100. Okay? So now the next part of it, I just hit stat and I go to calc. So I go right to calculate and I go down to number 4 for linear regression. And I just keep hitting enter until I get to calculate. And then bam, there it is. Now a couple things that we want to look at here on the calculator. These 2 numbers are going to give us our equation. And then this R is your correlation coefficient. And we'll talk about that as we get into it. Okay, so for the first question in letter B, write your equation, round your slope to the nearest tenth, and your y-intercept to the nearest integer. So, I got y equals your slope, which is your number with x, to the nearest tenth. So that would be 6.3 x. And your y-intercept to the nearest integer, which is 50. Okay? Part C, what score would a student who studies for 4 hours expect to get? So 4 hours is this column, L1, which is your X value. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 4 for X. So I do 6.3 times 4 plus 50. And if you study for 4 hours, you should get a 75 on your region score. Okay? Now the other part is your correlation coefficient, which I did talk about and I did show you, but I'm going to show you again. So I'm just going to have to go back and go to calc and do exactly what you did, and get to this screen. Right here, this is my correlation coefficient. So my correlation coefficient is 0.85. So R is 0.85. Now, if R is positive, then it's a positive correlation. If R is negative, it's a negative correlation. Now, the only issue is no correlation. No correlation is when your R value is close to 0, whether it's negative 0.1 or positive 0.1. Those two numbers are closer to 0, so that would be a no correlation. If your R value is close to 1, like 0.8, 0.9, 0.75, that is a positive correlation. If your R value is close to negative 1, like negative 0.75, negative 0.8, negative 0.9, that would be a negative correlation. So since this is positive 0.85, it's close to 1, it is positive, this will be a positive correlation. All right, so I want you just to finish the next 3 sides. If you have any questions, please email me at robert.mcconi@riverhead.net. And if you need help with getting a graphing calculator, just email me and I'll forward you the steps. Tomorrow I sent out pictures of how to do it and I wrote out some steps. If you want them today, just let me know and I'll be gladly to do that, okay? Hopefully we'll see you guys, we'll be together soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.